This, let's remember, day died again and again, whose golden, crimson dooms conceive an oceaning abyss of orange dream, larger than sky times earth, a flame beyond soul, immemorially forevering, am. And as collapsing that gray mind by wave, doom disappeared, out of perhaps, who knows, eternity, floated a blossoming, while anyone might slowly count to soon, rose. Did you see her? Darling, did you kiss me? Quickly count to never? You were wrong. Then, all the way from perfect nowhere, came, as easily as we forget something, living is the imaginable moon. Purer than purest, pure, whisper of a whisper, so big with innocence, forgivingly, a once of eager glory, no more miracle may grow. Childfully serious, flower of holiness, a pilgrim from beyond the future's future, and immediate like some newly remembered dream, flaming a coolly bell, touches most mere until eternally with now luminous the shadow of love himself, whose we. Nor can you die, or I, and every world, before silence begins a star. Swim so now million many worlds, in each least less than particle of perfect dark. How should a loudness called mankind unteach whole infinite the who of life's life? Hark, what silence! Worlds? Oh no, I'm certain there look again flowers. Don't worlds open and worlds close? Worlds do, but differently, or as if worlds wanted us to understand they'd never close and open. If that fool called everyone, or you, or I, were wise. You mean worlds may have better luck someday? Or worse? Poor worlds. I mean they're possible. But lifting flowers, more all stars than eyes, only are quite what worlds merely might be.
So many cells, so many fiends and gods, each greedier than every is a man. So easily one in another hides, yet man can, being all, escape from none. So huge a tumult is the simplest wish, so pitiless a massacre the hope most innocent. So deeps the mind of flesh, and so awake what waking calls asleep. So never is most lonely man alone. His briefest breathing lives some planet's year. His longest life's a heartbeat of some sun. His least unmotion roams the youngest star. How should a fool that calls him I presume to comprehend not numerable whom? Jake hates all the girls. The shy ones, the bold ones, the meek, proud, sloppy, sleek, all except the cold ones. Paul scorns all the girls, the bright ones, the dim ones, the slim, plump, tiny, tall, all except the dull ones. Gus loves all the girls, the warped ones, the lamed ones, the mad, moronic, maimed, all except the dead ones. Mike likes all the girls, the fat ones, the lean ones, the mean, kind, dirty, clean, all except the green ones.
When serpents bargain for the right to squirm, and the sun strikes to gain a living wage, when thorns regard their roses with alarm, and rainbows are insured against old age, when every thrush may sing no new moon in, if all screech owls have not okayed his voice, and any wave signs on the dotted line, or else an ocean is compelled to close, when the oak begs permission of the birch to make an acorn, valleys accuse their mountains of having altitude, and March denounces April as a saboteur. Then we'll believe in that incredible, unanimal mankind, and not until.
Who sharpens every dull? Here comes the only man, reminding with his bell to disappear a sun. And out of houses, poor maids, mothers, widows, wives, bringing this visitor their very oldest lives. One pays him with a smile, another with a tear, some cannot pay at all. He never seems to care. He sharpens is to am. He sharpens say to sing. You'd almost cut your thumb so right he sharpens wrong. And when their lives are keen, he throws the world a kiss and slings his wheel upon his back, and off he goes. But we can hear him still, if now our sun is gone, reminding with his bell to reappear a moon.
Open his head, baby, and you'll find a heart in it, cracked. Open that heart, Mabel, and you'll find a bed in it, fact. Open this bed, Sybil, and you'll find a tart in it, wed. Open the tart, lady, and you'll find his mind in it, dead.
Whose are these? Wraith a clinging with a wraith, ghosts drowning in supreme thunder. Ours. Over you reels and me a moon. Beneath, bombed thee by ocean earth, bigly shudders. Never was death so alive, chaos so, hark, that screech of space, absolute. My soul tastes if, as some world of a sparks, gulped by illimitable hell, and never have breathed such miracle murdered we, whom cannot kill, more mostful to arrive each, futuring snowily which sprints for the crumb of our now, twice upon a time wave. Put out your eyes and touch the black skin of an angel named imagination.
Neither awake. There's your general, yes, by gad, nor asleep. Booted and spurred with an apish grin, extremely like, but quite absurd. Gloved fist on hip, and the scowl of a cannibal. There's your mineral general animal. 5'5", neither dead nor alive. In real, the rain.
This is a rubbish of human rind, with a photograph clutched in the half of a hand, and the word love underlined. This is a girl who died in her mind, with a warm, thick scream and a keen, cold groan, while the gadgets purred and the gangsters dined. This is a deaf, dumb church and blind, with an if in its soul and a hole in its life, where the young bell tolled and the old vine twined. This is a dog of no known kind, with one white eye and one black eye, and the eyes of his eyes are as lost as you'll find. No time ago, or else a life, Walking in the dark, I met Christ Jesus. My heart flopped over and lay still while he passed, as close as I'm to you, yes, closer. Made of nothing except loneliness. The little horse is newly born. He knows nothing and feels everything. All around whom is perfectly a strangeness of sunlight and of fragrance and of singing. Is everywhere a welcoming dream, is amazing, a world. And in this world lies smooth, beautifully folded, a breathing and a growing silence. Who is someone? The great advantage of being alive instead of undying is not so much that mind no more can disprove than prove what heart may feel and soul may touch. The great, my darling, happens to be that love are in we, that love are in we. And here is a secret they never will share, for whom create is less than have, or one times one than when times where, that we are in love, that we are in love. With us they've nothing times nothing to do, for love are in we and I are in you. This world, as timorous itsters all to call their cowardice quite agree, shall never discover our touch and feel, for love are in we, for love are in we. For you are and I am and we are above and under all possible worlds in love. A billion brains may coax undeath from fancied fact and spaceful time. No heart can leap, no soul can breathe, but by the sizeless truth of a dream whose sleep is the sky and the earth and the sea. For love are in you, and in I are in we. Now all the fingers of this tree, darling, have hands, and all the hands have people. And more each particular person is, my love, alive than every world can understand. And now you are and I am now, and we're a mystery which will never happen again, a miracle which has never happened before, and shining this our now must come to then. Our then shall be some darkness during which fingers are without hands, and I have no you, and all trees are any more than each leafless. It's silent in forevering snow. But never fear, my own, my beautiful, my blossoming, for also then's until. Luminous tendril of celestial wish, whying diminutive bright deathlessness, to these my not themselves believing eyes adventuring, enormous nowhere from, querying affirmation, virginal immediacy of precision, more and perfectly more most ethereal silence through twilight's mystery made flesh. Dream slender, exquisite white firstful flame, new moon, as by the miracle of your sweet innocence refuted, clumsy some dull cowardice called a world vanishes. Teach, disappearing also me, the keen, illimitable secret of begin.
Now air is air and thing is thing. No bliss of heavenly earth beguiles our spirits, whose miraculously disenchanted eyes live the magnificent honesty of space. Mountains are mountains now, skies now are skies, and such a sharpening freedom lifts our blood, as if whole supreme this complete, doubtless universe we'd and we alone had made. Yes, or as if our souls awakened from summer's green trance would not adventure soon a deeper magic, that white sleep wherein all human curiosity we'll spend, gladly as lovers must, immortal and the courage to receive time's mightiest dream. Crazy jay blue, demon, laugh shrieking at me your scorn of easily, hatred of timid, and loathing for dull, all regular, righteous, comfortable unworlds. Thief, crook, cynic, swim, float, drifting fragment of heaven, trickster villain, raucous rogue and vivid Voltaire, you beautiful anarchist, I salute thee. Because you take life in your stride, instead of scheming how to beat the noblest game a man can proudly lose, or playing dead and hoping death himself will do the same, because you aren't afraid to kiss the dirt and consequently dare to climb the sky, because a mind no other mind should try to fool has always failed to fool your heart. But most, without the smallest doubt, because no best is quite so good you don't conceive a better, and because no evil is so worse than worst you fall in hate with love. Human, one, mortally immortal I, may turn immense all times because to why. Dominic has a doll wired to the radiator of his Zoom Doom ice-cold wood truck. A wistful little clown whom somebody buried upside down in an ash barrel. So, of course, Dominic took him home. And Mrs. Dominic washed his sweet, dirty face and mended his bright, torn trousers, quite as if he were really her and she. And so that's how Dominic has a doll. And every now and then my wonderful friend Dominic de Paola gives me a most tremendous hug, knowing I feel that we and worlds are less alive than dolls and dream. Both eaching come ghost-like, inch wraithish by inch, grinning he-shaped to these stroll more slowly than trees, do dreamingly phantoms, exchanging "È vero, Madonna," nudge, whisper, shout, laugh, matching once-upons, each bothing if, creep by if, timelessly found, lost, glad, children of dirt, poor, popes, emperors, undeaths, through slap soothed by sun dark, bright shadowfully fountaining, man's thingfullest God town, kissed bigly by bells. Maggie and Millie and Molly and May went down to the beach to play one day, and Maggie discovered a shell that sang so sweetly she couldn't remember her troubles, and Millie befriended a stranded star whose rays 5 languid fingers were, and Molly was chased by a horrible thing which raced sideways while blowing bubbles, and May came home with a smooth, round stone, as small as a world and as large as a loan. For whatever we lose, like a you or a me, it's always ourselves we find in the sea. In times a noble mercy of proportion, with generosities beyond believing, though flesh and blood accuse him of coercion, or mind and soul convict him of deceiving, whose ways are neither reasoned nor unreasoned, his wisdom cancels conflict and agreement. Saharas have their centuries, 10,000 of which are smaller than a rose's moment. There's time for laughing and there's time for crying, for hoping, for despair, for peace, for longing. A time for growing and a time for dying. A night for silence and a day for singing. But more than all, as all your more than eyes tell me, there is a time for timelessness. So shy, 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 and with a look the very boldest man can scarcely dare to meet, no matter how he'll try to try. So wrong, 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 and with a smile at which the rightest man remembers there is such a thing as spring and wonders why. So gay, 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 and with a wisdom not the wisest man will partly understand, although the wisest man am I. So young, 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 and with a something makes the oldest man, whoever he may be, the only man who'll never die. But also dying, as well as to cry and sing, my love, and wonder, is something you have and I've been doing as long as to, yes, forget, and longer, dear. Our birth's the because of a why, but our doom is to grow. Remember this, my sweet. Not only wherever the sun and the stars and the moon are, where, but also nowhere. In time of daffodils, who know the goal of living is to grow, forgetting why, remember how. In time of lilacs, who proclaim the aim of waking is to dream, remember so, forgetting seem. In time of roses, who amaze our now and here with paradise, forgetting if, remember yes. In time of all sweet things beyond whatever mind may comprehend, remember seek, forgetting find. And in a mystery to be, when time from time shall set us free, forgetting me, remember me.
That melancholy fellow will play his hand organ until you say, I want a fortune, at which smiling he stops, and picking up a magical stick, taps this dingy cage. Then with a ghost's rain-faint, wind-thin voice, which is no voice, sob, cries, Polly, whereupon out slowly steps to mount the wand a by no means almost white, more than person, who riding through space to diminutive this opened drawer, tweaks with his brute beak one fatal, faded, pinkish or yellowish, maybe, piece of pitiful paper. But now, as Mr. Bowing Cockatoo proffers the meaning of the stars, 14th Street, this, because my tears are full of eyes, appears because only the truest things always are true, because they can't be true. What got him was nothing, and nothing's exactly what anyone living or somebody dead, like even a poet, could hardly express. What I mean is, what knocked him over wasn't, for instance, the knowing your whole yes, goddamned life is a flop, or even to feel how everything dreamed and hoped and prayed for months and weeks and days and years and nights and forever is less than nothing, which would have been something. What got him was nothing.
Handsome and clever, and he went cruising into a crazy dream. Two were 100 million whos, while only himself was him. Two were the cleanest, keenest, bravest killers you'd care to see, while a stuttering ghost that maybe had shaved 3 times in its life made 3. Brawny and brainy, they sing and they whistle. Now here is a job to be done. While a wisp of why as thick as my fist stuck in the throat of one. 2 came hurrying home to the dearest little women alive. But Jim stood still for 1,000 years and then lay down with a smile.
Thanksgiving, 1956. A monstering horror swallows this unworld, me by you, as the God of our fathers' fathers bows to a witch that walks like a who. But the voice with a smile of democracy announces night and day. All poor little peoples that want to be free, just trust in the USA. Suddenly up rose Hungary, and she gave a terrible cry. No slave's unlife shall murder me, for I will freely die. She cried so high, Thermopylae heard her and Marathon, and all pre-human history, and finally the Un. Be quiet, little Hungary, and do as you are bid. A good, kind bear is angry. We fear for the quo pro quid. Uncle Sam shrugs his pretty pink shoulders, you know how, and he twitches a liberal titty and lisps, "I'm busy right now." So rah, 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 democracy. Let's all be as thankful as hell. And bury the Statue of Liberty because it begins to smell. Who is our who? Two faces at a dark window. This father and his child are watching snowflakes falling and falling and falling. Eyes, eyes, looking always while earth and sky grow one with wonder until see thee with the bigger much than biggest little is now dancing, yes, for whitely joy, 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 and whiteliest all wonderings are silence, is becoming each true beautifully more than thing, and falling and every child fathering one